Hey, what's up guys? Scott back here, back with another video today. Today I'm going to be doing a little bit different. I don't really do this kind of video much, but I might start. But this would be a good starting point. Today I'm going to be talking about my top 5 favorite Star Wars heroes, or good guys. This is really in no particular order. I love all 5 of these characters. And it would be, if I was going to rank them, it would be kind of hard. So I just this is my top 5, no particular order. And I want to kind of go through each character and talk about why I like them. And, and someday I might expand this to a top 10, but I thought top 5 would be a good starting for this type of video if I want to do this. So, alright, well, let's not waste any time. Number 1, right out the gate, Luke Skywalker. Come on, man. He is Star Wars. There would be no Star Wars without Luke Skywalker. I mean, he is the original hero of the original trilogy. But his story has gone far beyond the original trilogy. He is, especially in the past couple of years in The Mandalorian, the Mandoverse, he's shown up a couple times and really contributed to the story. So, he's the new hope. When the Empire rose to power, he was the new hope. I guess you could say him and Leia, but primarily him. Awesome pilot, trained to be a Jedi, became a very great Jedi warrior. Helped fight and defeat the Empire, redeemed Vader through love, which is very, very awesome. In fact, he refused to strike down Vader out of love for his father, and in turn, when the Emperor was killing him, out of love, Vader killed the Emperor to save his son. So, I love Luke because he's a very awesome, a great warrior, strong with the Force, an awesome pilot. But he's also a very compassionate character too, and would lay down his life for his friends in a heartbeat. Now, even later in the sequel trilogy, later in his life, even when his character took a darker turn, he still came back. And even though I think they could have done it better, he still sacrificed his life to allow the other heroes time to get away. And then at the end, years later in the First Order, and Palpatine comes back, he comes back to Rey and says, "It's up to you to carry on the legacy." So, even at the end when his character took a darker turn, he still came back and was the Luke that was willing to fight and stuff. So, even though I wasn't the biggest fan of how they took his character in the sequels, he ultimately redeemed himself by coming back and inspiring Rey to go and fight Palpatine, and telling it's up to you to carry on the Jedi legacy. So Luke Skywalker, absolutely one of my favorites. So, and something people don't talk about. One of my favorite Luke scenes in the whole all of Star Wars. Well, there's 2. One, obviously, in the Mandalorian, which a lot of people, when he showed up. That was just a great moment. That it really elevated him a lot. So to have Luke Skywalker in the Mandoverse was awesome. So, but another people I seen another Luke scene that I really like, a lot of people don't talk about, is in Empire Strikes Back and the Battle of Hoth. I think when him and Wedge are in the snowspeeder, and he takes that cable and wraps it around the big walker, and it collapses and blows it up. That scene is awesome. That was a very underrated Luke scene in my opinion. I don't hear a lot of talk about that. So anyway, Luke Skywalker, absolutely one of my favorites. Alright, number 2, Ahsoka Tano. Obviously a character not in the original films, or any of the films, honestly, at least not yet. Hopefully she'll be in the Mandoverse film, but a character that's just been in television up to this point, but a character that has a heavy connection to the Skywalkers because she was Anakin's Padawan. Started out as this very naive, inexperienced Padawan, but over time you see her character growth. She comes into becomes a very confident and cunning warrior, and also very good heart, very honorable. Wants to help people, defend, and then we get to see her in some awesome fights. And one of my personal favorites is in Tales of the Jedi, when she fights this Inquisitor type dude, and just in like the swing of a span of it, like a few seconds, she just takes his lightsaber and cuts his head off. Like, it wasn't even a fight. And this guy was like really intimidating too, and she just mopped the floor with him. I loved it. And then I really like her fights with Morgan Elsbeth in the Mandoverse, both of them, Mandalorian and in her show, both fights. I cannot wait to see more of her. I love Rosario Dawson as the live action version. I cannot wait. Can't wait to see her continue, hopefully into the film. So, Ahsoka, because of her character growth and journey, all that, absolutely one of my favorite characters. Very underrated character. Next, we got Din Djarin, Mando, or the title character, the Mandalorian. Very kind of a starts out as this lone gunslinger type character, and he kickstarted the Mandoverse, this whole overarching story that we're getting, and I love his character. He meets Grogu, develops a soft spot for Grogu, and later becomes his actual father, and he adopts him as his son. And Grogu helps him, realize that there's more to his life than just being a bounty hunter. He wants to fight the good fight and help his people and defeat Moff Gideon, and Grogu helps him inspire to do that. So I love Mando. He's the cool gunslinger. He got some awesome gadgets and stuff. He's a good fighter, and I love his armor design, the silver, very unique. So Mando absolutely gets a thumbs up. One of my favorites. Next up we got, this is, I'm going to save the controversial one for last. Next, let's go Bo-Katan Kryze, or Lady Bo-Katan of Clan Kryze to be specific, but Bo-Katan Kryze, a royal princess of Mandalore. And, she starts out, in season 2, we meet her in season 2 of Mandalorian, and, she's all about taking back Mandalore, but then we see her, and she does some cool stuff, and of course it helps that she's played by Katie Sackhoff, who's an amazing sci-fi queen right there. But I like her arc in the sense that she's able to when we meet her at the start of season 3, she's in a really bad spot, but Mando helps bring her out of her funk, and then at the end they work together to defeat Moff Gideon, and she's able to I love the scene where she relights the forge. That's what relights the forge on Mandalore to signify the restart of their people or whatever. They have their planet back. So Bo-Katan, she has a good heart even underneath her tough facade, because she did not hesitate for a second to go help Mando when he was in need. She doesn't ever hesitate to help those that are in need. I love Bo-Katan so much. A fierce warrior, but with a kind heart. As pretty much with everyone on this list. But I love that I like her armor design with the blue and white, and her double pistols. And I like that each Mandalorian kind of has their own unique style. Din Djarin's kind of the lone gunslinger. Bo-Katan's the tough princess, and but yeah, I love Bo-Katan. Absolutely an elite character. So, okay, now we're getting into the controversial one on this list. But hear me out. All right, so it's Rey, or I'm not afraid to call her Rey Skywalker. So, I will say that Rey is not a perfect character. The story she was given in the first 2 movies was a mess. She was this scavenger girl, and when I mean the first 2 movies of the sequel trilogy, Force Awakens and Last Jedi, her story was a mess from the start, because we just meet her and she's a scavenger girl. We don't really know a lot about her, and she's just kind of thrown into this adventure. And yes, I will admit she is a Mary Sue at first, or she kind of is a Mary Sue, but that doesn't make her a bad character. But she is a Mary Sue. She definitely is powerful from the start, able to fly the Millennium Falcon with no training, lightsaber, able to wield a lightsaber with no training at first. But all that aside, I like her character, and I like her character arc, because she starts out, she starts out this scavenger girl, but she becomes kind of like Luke did, even though they rushed it. She still becomes this great Jedi warrior at the end that helps defeat Palpatine and save the galaxy from the First Order. And I like that. And Luke, I love the scene where Luke comes to her in The Rise of Skywalker, episode 9, and says, like, it's up to you to carry on the Jedi's legacy. If you don't go face Palpatine, it will mean the end of the Jedi. Like Obi-Wan told Luke in Return of the Jedi. Luke was passing the torch to the next generation of Jedi through her. It's her time to lead. And I like the scene. I love the scene on the battle on Exegol where she's fighting Palpatine, and she's down, and you hear the spirits of all the past Jedi, Ahsoka, Luke, Qui-Gon, every Jedi that we met through the series, telling her, we're all in you, Rey. Use our power to help you. And then she gets up, and uses the power to defeat Palpatine and finally kill him. I like her character arc, even though it was kind of a mess. Her character arc is still, in my opinion, overall well done. And I cannot wait to see what she does in her movie coming out, which is supposed to go into production soon. So, I like Rey as a character. Just the story she was given was a mess from the start. But her defeating Palpatine, and here's the thing, bloodline-wise, she is a Palpatine, but she rejected her bloodline and became a Skywalker, which I think is awesome, and killed her evil grandfather. So, I like Rey as a character a lot, so I don't care what anyone says. And I'm proud to see her carry on the Skywalker name and legacy. So, anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and hope you enjoy the video, and peace out.